Let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, we know that it broke down, guys. And again, let's be fair. I told everyone till I was blue in the face that 31,000-ish area was going to be massive resistance. Okay? Now, people are like, wait, I can't figure out why it didn't break out. Dude, come on. I mean, again, these are technicals. They're non-biased. All right, I remember saying when we were at 31,000 that the bullishness at 31,000 was the equivalent of bullishness when we were at 69,000. That's not good because we know what happened at 69,000. In any case, it doesn't mean that crypto's done. I want to be clear on this. I'm a trader. So we've now broken this level. It's unconfirmed. So I want to see it confirm. But we are starting to make a bear flag. You get 2 consolidation candles. If you get another 1 or 2, that's a bear flag off of that drop. It likely signals a move down to the next trend line at 27,000. Now, 27,000 is a good support. We could bounce there and then make new highs above 31,000 and break out. Okay, that's a technician. That's a technical trader. If we break 27,000, then that becomes problematic because this is a long-term trend line, right? So again, if we look at this trend line, that is an uptrend trend line. Uptrends being the key word. If we come down to 27 and we get below it, let's say we're trading at 26 or 25, what that tells us, folks, is that now we're in trouble. We've now broken the uptrend that took us from the lows on this chart, and we could easily head back down. The only way my long-term, my worst-case scenario on Bitcoin comes to fruition, which was 10 to 9,000. All right, my first target was 12, 13. Second worst-case scenario is 10 to 9. The only way that happens is if the stock market collapses. If the stock market collapses, then I do think still 10 to 9,000 is accurate and likely. And again, it's all about capital, people. What people don't realize is that fear and greed rule the markets. If you get massive fear, it doesn't matter. I mean, look at during COVID. Gold got crushed. Crypto got crushed. Stocks got crushed. It didn't matter. Same thing in 08, 09. Look at 08, 09. All of this stuff. When panic hits, people panic and sell everything. So that's your base case. That's your worst case scenario is if we get that in the stock market. What I mean by that is basically if we took out the 2 October 2022 lows, then I think crypto, or at least specifically Bitcoin, could head back down and take out 15.7 and potentially head lower. All right.
Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Gareth Soloway gives us an update on his current macro thesis and his perspective on current global market conditions, also his prediction for Bitcoin and crypto, and where he thinks the market will go in the next months. So let's get started with the video.
All I heard from all of these other analysts out there and these economists is that inflation is going to 2% or under within a few months, and everything's going to be perfect. We're going to be singing Kumbaya together with a perfect soft landing. Well, the data doesn't confirm that, guys. And that's really what I want you guys to understand is that as we jump into this chart right over here, all right, so again, what we're looking at here is the past CPI data. So this was your CPI right here. This was food, and this was energy. All right, now what this shows us is that in the last 12 months, energy collapsed while food went higher and the rest of goods went higher as well. Okay, now what this shows us here is that essentially energy was the main culprit for why the CPI data has come down so substantially. Now, the reason why that's important is we have to go over here. I want to go over to this chart now, and we're going to take a look at energy. Let's see what energy is doing here. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have an inkling on this. So if we flip over to the daily chart on energy, and I got lots of trend lines on my charts here, but look at the move in energy. This is oil. This is WTI crude oil. And crude oil has gone up from basically $68 to $79 just in the last month. If you go back to the previous levels 12 months ago, because remember, the CPI, guys, is treated as a 12-month, so year over year, and a monthly, month over month. Well, month over month, inflation's skyrocketing where the energy component is, right? So we're going to look at food next, all right? And then we can also look at housing. But right now, the energy component is skyrocketing month over month, and it's almost back to where it was 12 months ago. Now, do you want to know why? Why did the CPI drop so much from 12 months ago? Why are all of a sudden the CPI numbers down? Because think about it. 12 months ago, oil and gas were at ridiculous levels because of the Russia invasion. So it makes sense that, again, as we got past that big pop in oil and oil started to come down, the CPI would come down. Well, now we're at a point where we're past that initial Russia invasion where energy spiked higher, and therefore we're going to see the CPI numbers not drop as much, and in fact, likely you will see an uptick this next coming CPI data on inflation. And the reason I'm talking about this, guys, is because it's going to make sure that the Federal Reserve has to stay basically hawkish. They have to continue to stay vigilant because they know this data. They're looking at the same charts I am. They know that this stuff is going to go higher.
Following the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision, Bitcoin's price showed a notable short-term recovery as it successfully surpassed the $29,000 resistance zone. Despite recent fluctuations, several analysts remain optimistic about Bitcoin's long-term prospects, asserting that it is still in a bull market. This sentiment is supported by the fact that many long-term holders of Bitcoin are still holding positions that are currently profitable. According to Ali Martinez, despite Bitcoin dropping below $30,000, the adjusted SOPR indicates that most BTC sellers are still making profits. It's similar to selling items purchased at a discount. Taking to his Twitter handle, he wrote, "Even though hash Bitcoin fell below $30,000, the adjusted SOPR suggests that many of those who are selling $BTC are still in profit. Think of it like people selling items they bought at a discount. Don't let short-term price action blur the bigger picture." According to Don Crypto, Bitcoin is experiencing its lengthiest period at or below the weekly 200 moving average. The previous record was set in 2015, lasting approximately 9 months. However, the current situation has surpassed that, with Bitcoin staying below the weekly 200 MA for over 13 months now. This extended duration could have significant implications for the cryptocurrency's price and market sentiment. Credible Crypto said, "We've been repeating the exact same pattern with every single accumulation consolidation structure since our bottom at 15K. It's almost time for the next impulse." Kai-Young Ju, the co-founder of CryptoQuant, believes that Bitcoin is still in a bull cycle. One of the indicators supporting this view is that approximately 71% of the realized capitalization of Bitcoin has remained unmoved for over 6 months. This data suggests that long-term holders are holding onto their Bitcoin, resulting in low selling pressure in the market at present.
Last chart I want to go over here real quick, guys, is gold. And again, gold continuing to do exactly what I thought it would do. So this is a classic technical setup here. Take a look, pivot high. This was a double top, by the way, or double top was here. You get your big pullbacks on double tops. On triple tops, which was this hit, small pullback. And right to the scene of the crime. Pivot high, breakout, retrace to the scene of the crime, to the penny basically, and it starts to rally up. Now again, I'm still calling for north of 2,075, which was the triple top, by year end. And again, I am still very bullish on gold. Long term, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin too. So please understand that narrative there is that, yes, I still think that crypto is a little bit iffy. And listen, the altcoins have done exactly that. I mean, the altcoins have been a fiasco, a horrendous thing. But Bitcoin itself, love it long term. It is the future digital gold. It will be 100K at some point. It will be 150, 250,000 in my opinion. Gold will also, at least in the near term, serve us and probably go to 3, 4, maybe 5,000 within the next 3 years. So I think there's a trade here. There's a 2-3 year trade on gold where eventually crypto then takes over and catapults us to the upside. All right.
So, what's your price prediction for Bitcoin at the end of 2023? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.